Well, an update now out of the courtroom in the case of a former Longview ISD teacher, one of 6 accused of abusing disabled students from 2019 to 2021. Cassandra James is one of the former J.L. Everhart educators charged. She was not present today, but the state and defense still gathered to discuss the case. James and Linda Lister have 18 charges against them. The 2 women will be on trial together. Now on the docket today was a motion for severance. The defense is aiming to try each of the 18 counts separately.
Yeah, so I thought it was another motion to sever defendants, not counts.
Okay.
So that's what I thought we were hearing again. I'll read these cases, I'll do some independent research, and then if you give me 1 week, I'll reach out to Mr. Biggs and Ms. Northcutt.
The next hearing for James will be July 7th.